the Drink Drive Championship. Good-looking field. Some new late model cars in the pack this afternoon. Let's take a look at the top 10 and how they line up. Georgie Elliott has pole position in the Optus Triple M Lumina. Walter Giles of Sydney in the DuPont Paints Chevrolet. Graham in the second of the John Sydney cars from 713. From Launceston, Gene Cook. From position number 8 and number 4, it's Perry. It's George Elliott's sprint. If he gets into gear here, he'll set up a big lead very early in this race. Coming in for the start of the opening round of the Drink Drive NASCAR series at Calder Park. And away goes Elliott out of the inside. Graham got away smartly off the third row and is trying to separate a couple as they go to the bottom turn. If they swing through there, it's close at the front half of the field. The exit now as Walter Giles works on the tail here of George Elliott. Just noses out a little bit as they run down the back straight. Absolutely nothing between them. Max Dumpsney is one back behind them, followed by Charlie O'Brien. Terry Byers got away to a good start. And right behind Terry Byers is Barry Graham. That's the order across the line, and it's Elliott sprinting with Giles right back behind him. Two of the original short track oval stars from the early days of the pavement at Liverpool in Sydney, and they dictate the pace as they exit turn number 2 with the outstanding sprint car driver of Australia, Max Dumpsney, running in third. And Charlie O'Brien, who's driven just about everything on 4 wheels, running in the 4th spot, staying in touch with the leaders.
Yeah, real nice, and certainly the two.
The back straightaway. Here comes Charlie O'Brien up on the inside of Dumpsney, and he takes Terry Byers along for the ride as well. So yeah, Charlie's the big mover.
Nice move there.
And so Dumpsney's been caught one wide there. Graham sits back behind him as they come down the front straight again. Byers probably with a lot of work on his car during the off-season. We expect it to be very, very competitive this year. And at the front end of the field, it's Walter Giles all over the tail here of George Elliott. Now slingshots him, and Charlie O'Brien says 2 can play at that. He comes up on the inside. Charlie will keep his head. He'll be cool here as he works away at Elliott. Elliott in the Optus Triple M car, and O'Brien now makes it from 4th up to 2nd. And here's Terry Byers, the sleeper in the 26 car, down on the inside, making life unbearable for Elliott, and he now advances into 4th spot.
Good move by Charlie there. He took advantage of the slipstream, and obviously a good strong motor to keep him in touch with the leader. But look at this. He's saying, I don't want to be in 2nd. 1st will do me. Move over Walter.
Yeah, hasn't had a drive here at Thunderdome for well and true, I'd say probably 18 months. Charlie O'Brien was a star on the road course at the Gold Coast. But Charlie is a big-time provider. Problems here for Perry Schubert in the Pontiac Grand Prix. He's had a little coming together with someone. Charlie O'Brien of Queensland just leading from Terry Byers of Wollongong. They come along the back straight. Do you think Terry could get any more advertising on the dash there? I rather doubt it.
Though he is an avid 7 Sport watcher, as you can see there, and you can also see Charlie O'Brien. And here goes Byers having a look down the inside. The 2 leading cars are starting to come up on some of the slower traffic, and what a hectic start to this 120-lap NASCAR race. These 358 cubic inch small block V8s are going to be tested to the limit.
Well, I'll tell you what, no matter what Byers has done so far, he has been unable to rattle Charlie O'Brien, because Charlie knows you can swing by these cars, but you've got to get down to the inside. He's actually got just what appeared to me to be a bit of a horsepower break, but at this stage, Byers gets through on the inside.
Got him then. Yeah, nice clean drive. Byers did well. He worked away at it. But take nothing away from Charlie O'Brien. He hasn't raced here for many, many months.
And 2nd as they exit the 2nd turn, and there's the gap they put over the rest of the field. Dumpsney running in 3rd.
Gee, he's not far away from the wall.
And he'll keep the pressure on lap after lap. As he's settled into race pace now, Charlie. And so, too, to his credit, is Terry Byers. The boy, they've decimated this field. They've opened it up to 150. Elliott runs back in 4th. Graham is 5th. Then it's Denzel Mead in the 85 car. Ronnie Goodman, good show from him in the West Coast wine cooler entry.
Doesn't Terry Byers love to lead a race early? He's shown it to us in the past, shown a lot of potential. Unfortunately, most times, though, mechanical failure, more times than not, something has gone wrong for Terry. Could 93, 94 be the change as he leads across the strike one more time?
Well, he's certainly not getting away from O'Brien here.
Charlie has got the power on, and watch him get out of this turn. Go down the back straight.
Look at that, absolutely line ball.
Now, at this stage, the buyer's car will stick to the low side of the circuit, but even one out off the racing line. Charlie doing a fabulous job here in the 15 car. Here they go again.
Well, he's sticking to his guns. He just uses a lane and a half there. Byers absolutely loves the bottom lane. Charlie taking the outside run again, and depending on his momentum down the back straight, not quite, as they fade into turn 3. Tucking in behind, just the crossover there. This is real racing.
It is good racing, and deceptively fast, these cars around here.
It's a very similar battle to the one we saw in the Oscar race earlier on between Brad Jones and John Faulkner. Byers and O'Brien playing a little cat and mouse out front.
Oh, troubles here for Gene Cook. He's back in the pits again. The 13 car. Looks like the day is done for Gene.
Yep, the gloves are off.
Another good short tracker who has made the conversion to the asphalt high bank racing. Meantime, Charlie O'Brien will not give Terry Byers a break.
Setup, he feels very comfortable down there. The car should be faster in the top lane, but he doesn't mind letting it come down, pinching it a little bit, as the Americans would say. But
what Charlie needs is Byers actually to drift one lane offline, and if he gets up the inside of him, it'll be on for young and old.
It'll be all over.
But he can't do it because Terry's car is handling strongly. Here's 15 again as we peer out. Oh, Denzel Mead's gone, and he's taken out number 4 with him.
Perry Schubert's gone.
Schubert's gone.
Oh, gee whiz. Don't
back that across the racetrack.
No. T-Bone City.
He's got him. 91 Walter Giles has got Denzel Mead.
Can't see through the smoke.
7 is involved, Barry Blake. The 27 car is also in there. That's Kim Jane and the Goodyear entry. There's Walter Giles. He's okay. He's about to take. He's got the wheel off.
That was a hard thump, that one.
It was a huge thump.
Yeah.
Poor old Walter Giles was left with absolutely nowhere to go.
There's Walter sitting in the car at the moment. Let's take a look at exactly what had happened. Denzel Mead has got around. Ronnie Goodman spins to get out of the way. Schubert nails into the side of 85. Denzel Mead goes up the racetrack and just sits there. Now it starts to drift down the racetrack. 2 go by. Walter Giles is about to arrive in the 91 DuPont car. Oh, and cops him straight in the side of the car. Let's take a look again from a different angle as they come into the corner.
The driver behind Walter has seen it and backed off.
Oh. Well, no, that's the other car getting around. Walter Giles at this stage is just about to get involved in this. The 85 Denzel Mead car is towed back to the pits on the wrecker's hook. Time to check out the top 5 and how they run on our race score. Terry Byers leads from Charlie O'Brien. Max Dunsty is... And coming up smartly, it's Ian Thomas in the number 2 car, who gets up on the inside of Neville Lance as they go to the bottom corner. Ronnie Goodman was there, but he's already been gazumped by the look of it from Max Dumsney, who was right behind him as Thomas takes over control on the back straight. Dumsney, at the business end of the day, is getting onto the pace very, very quickly. And let me tell you, you'd want to, because the black clouds are starting to hover as we've had Ronnie Goodman shunted up into the wall, touch wheels with another car. The yellow didn't come out. He's going to limp back into the pits. Well, should. That's if he's got any steering. But Goodman now elects to head down pit lane. They haven't brought the yellow out. And here's Ronnie Goodman limping in. A little unlucky there. I felt that he got tagged on his way into the turn. This is what happened. See if I'm wrong. Yep, that's exactly what happened, and that was George Elliott that tagged him, knocked him out of the way, and he hit the wall very heavily indeed and was able to slide along and then make his way down pit lane.
A guy we haven't given a rap to as yet is Ian Thomas in the number 2 car, Alan. That.
Yes, he's done very, very well, Ian. He's been in the heat of battle here for a long time.
Well, battle this is, because we've got an aggressive driver trying to unlap himself. Here we have him.
And he's trying to beat the weather here today, because in the last probably 5 or 10 minutes of this race, can you see the weather across to the right there? It is absolutely pouring rain. I'd say no more than a couple of kilometres away from Calder Park. And poor Charlie is trying to pull back that lap, put himself back on the same lap as this group. was all working well for him for a while, but the two John Sidney cars have gotten away. He has a chance here on Ian Thomas, but Thomas has got a very strong engine in that number 2 car.
He's positioning himself well. He's driving well, holding position. It's just difficult. Charlie can't get himself in the right position to get by. Here's another go down the front straight.
Charlie's going to make his own line any second now. Alan, does frustration start to creep in it now? Charlie has come on so strongly in the last few laps. Does it get to a point where you may do something irrational?
You should be telling yourself, be careful. Your instincts will do the rest for you when you're running that close. A lot of things are happening on automatic pilot, and one of them is bravery. But I don't see him doing anything too erratic. I wouldn't say he was frustrated at the moment. He'll be tense. He knows he needs to get by him.
Here he comes down the back straight, and once again the engine and the Thomas car, the number 2 car, running superbly here today. Max Dumsney still leads. Barry Graham, his teammate, runs in second. 2 car lengths between the pair of them. Then this scrap we're watching, I think he's got him this time. O'Brien, he's got to stay down low and hang it in low here and frighten the living daylights out of Ian Thomas.
Throw his tail out at him.
Well, he did that. Now that's pulled him up to 3rd. And whether or not they can beat the weather, well, the next couple of minutes will prove.
That was good driving, patient driving, as Andy said, and it paid dividends for him.
It hasn't really altered anything because he's been coming at Ian Thomas and Neville Lance the last couple of laps.
New car here this year with new launch support. Looks pretty, going well.
So he went off to the United States around about World 600 time at Charlotte, and works the back straight. He's making ground now on Barry Graham in the 3 car. Keeping in mind they wouldn't be as affected unless you do get a heavy downpour. Gee, Charlie's impressed me today. Look at him sitting on the tail here of Graham. Now he works to the high side. One of the few drivers.
Under control.
And yellow lights come out and yellow flags come out now because of the rain. And there you can see it. And a major storm coming in over the top of the circuit. The officials user-friendly today to Charlie O'Brien. John Cooper joins me, the Vice President of International Speedway Corp, the Daytona International Speedway, Talladega and Watkins Glen. John, have you seen 4 seasons of weather in a couple of hours?
No, this has been an unusual day. I'd heard that it could do this at Calder, and I'm sorry it happened today. I want to compliment the Melbourne fans who've hung in here. A lot of them are still here.
They certainly are. Well, Charlie O'Brien, car number 15, will be the wild card in this one. Still enough laps left to run. They come off turn number 4. We expect the pace car to pull down below the yellow. We'll go back to racing. There's some battered and wounded cars out there as they come off the 4th turn now, as O'Brien got enough sting to be able to out-sprint Max Dumsney. Let's wait and see. They come in for the start. Dumsney getting away smartly. All bring them up to racing speed. The green flag drops and O'Brien tries to open the taps up. But you'll find it'll be Max Dumsney who goes down into turn number 1. He leads from Barry Graham and Neville Lance. O'Brien is in there purely to try and get his lap back if he can. Now they're onto the back straight. And the 2 Valvoline Teamsters, but here comes Charlie standing on the gas as he comes down on the inside and gets through. Now he really needs a yellow flag any time from here as he brings them across the line. Graham goes back. Dumsney's tried to race Charlie O'Brien. Keep him down a lap, that will help.
He seems to have them. He was cautious earlier in an earlier restart, but he must have remembered that he had a couple of tough competitors to get away from. So in theory, he has to unlap himself, or as Mike has said, if he becomes the beneficiary of a yellow flag between now and talk about a praying mantis, so Max will be wondering, who is this guy behind me? I haven't seen this paint scheme in my rearview mirror for a while.
He hasn't seen John, but John gets a little closer lap after lap. But he'll have to be onto this because I think they've got about 12 laps to go. And whether or not John's got enough stick here to be able to beat Max with it, but he is close as they come off the fourth turn. Starting to rain again, so it may well finish before the distance. The last thing these guys need to do is to wind up parking the cars, and the yellow will come out now, and I'd say that will settle it once and for all.
These fellows have the yellow goes off on their
The
dash.
strike coming in for the start. One's gone sideways. It's Neville Lance. But they're not even actually going to take the flag because Lance has got it out of shape in the 14 car as they go to the bottom corner.
Cold tires, and these fellows just don't seem to have a feel for the torque that can go through the drivetrain. Over 600 horsepower, some of them in excess of 650 horsepower.
And let's take a look at what happened. Here's Neville Lance, Ian Thomas right behind him. You'll notice them jump on the gas here, and he's got it loose, as Alan pointed out, on cold tyres. Crunch. Neville Lance in the 14 car that was running so strongly in this race.
We were not exactly criticizing, but commenting on how cautious Charlie O'Brien was on the restart.
The cars on the same lap run the outside. There's Charlie in the 15 car, Ian Thomas in front of him. And the guys who've dictated this race from start have to wait to see to finish. Pace car ready to pull onto pit lane. They come across. Here they go. Now, Charlie O'Brien, Max Dumsney breaks it loose as he comes down the outside. He's got John Faulkner right behind him. Barry Graham is next, Ian Thomas, and then Charlie O'Brien. The tyres are a little warmer now than they were probably a couple of laps ago before the restart commenced. But just look at the charging going on here as Barry Graham gets up smartly.
Oh, yeah, Faulkner got badly out fumbled there.
So they dive in here. Ian Thomas drops one back on the queue. Faulkner can't do much about that. O'Brien is in. They come back across the line now. Should be 2 laps to go. Dumsney's out to a good lead. Barry Graham in second. And then on the outside, it's John Faulkner with O'Brien trying to split a wall of cars. Ian Thomas loops it and just gets tagged on the way through. But catches it again. Now he's caught it.
Nicely held.
So Charlie O'Brien picks up 1 spot in that. It's not the most stylish of vehicles going down the back straight, but Dumsney coming off the turn. I'll tell you, Faulkner is all over Barry Graham. The white flag is out. Dumsney clear. And here's Faulkner making his run down the outside of Barry Graham. This will be a deep breath situation as he goes in here.
Not afraid of that top bank.
They're certainly not. They come out on the final lap. There's nothing between them. Faulkner fighting for second place. Barry Graham holding it in the number 3 car. Halfway down the back straight. I don't think Faulkner's got enough to snap him before the turn. No, he hasn't. He'll just drift a little wide. In the meantime, 4th turn, checkered flag. Opening round of the championship goes to the defending champion, Max Dumsney. Graham for second. 3rd across the line was Johnny Faulkner. And right behind John Faulkner was Charlie O'Brien, who salvaged a lot to finish in 4th. So here he is, car number 5, and teammate Barry Graham and Max Dumsney. They've done well today for the John Sydney team. Check them out for you on our race score. Dumsney the race winner, Barry Graham finishes 2nd, John Faulkner 3rd, Charlie O'Brien